Hello and welcome to episode 16 of the Final Fantasy X Challenge. The NSGNSNCNONENNEBB, I think that's all of them. I still haven't got it written down. Basically the you can't do anything challenge. That one. And we have finally made it to Seymour for the first time. Now, we are going to have to farm this little so-and-so in order to get a very specific weapon. I've mentioned this a few times already in other episodes. Basically, without this weapon, we cannot get past the Via Purifico dungeon area in Bevelle when you have the 4 characters that are not underwater. Mainly because there's a lava spawn there that will just keep healing itself with water magic and making itself stronger each time it does, so its healing will then get stronger each time it does. And because of what we've got with us, we can't do enough damage to out-damage that healing. Because we don't have Riku, obviously we can't use summons, anything like that. We can't use Overdrives, so we can't do big damage. Our big damage at the moment pretty much is only coming from Riku and items, and we don't have access to her. So, we need a Silent Strike weapon for either Auron, Kimahri, Yuna, or Lulu, because they're the only characters we have at that moment. Now, if we get it for Lulu, that's a bit of a pain because we've then got to go and get her. If we've got it for Yuna, that's not the worst thing in the world, but her Rod of Wisdom is very useful with Sensor, so because this weapon's going to be quite useful other parts of the game, so yeah, not ideal. If we get it for Kimahri, again, we've kind of got to go and venture to look for him. But not the worst thing in the world. Ideally, we want it for Auron. He does the most damage. We pretty much have him in the party all the time now. When you're going through the dungeon, he is basically in a straight line towards the exit, so we haven't got to do any deviation. So, yeah. We kind of really want it for Auron. We'll take it for Kimahri, but it has to be for one of those 4. So obviously, if we don't get a Silent Strike weapon, we redo the fight. If we get it for one of the other 3 characters, we redo the fight. So what we're going to do here, yeah, talk resist Tidus, yeah, because this increases his attack power, I think, which can be quite useful. Essentially, we've got sort of 3 stages. We've got this stage at the beginning, and the first thing we're going to do is petrify the 2 guards there. Now, the reason we're going to do that is because if we petrify them, when they die, they're not going to give buffs to Seymour. They just disappear into dust. So that's very important. It leaves Seymour slightly weaker. The next thing, well, we've already done it. Riku, she needs to be hasted throughout this entire fight. But we need to make sure that we pay attention to the order of his magic. He's done ice magic. I think the next one is lightning magic. So we need to make sure that we're in a position where we can kind of defend ourselves against that. And Kimahri, luckily, has got a lot of sort of wards for magic. And obviously Auron's got a lot of health, so they're going to be our main kind of ways through. We then want to poison Seymour as quick as possible with a poison fang. God, 500 damage from Tidus, nice. Yeah, it was lightning. Perfect. And we want to poison him and basically wipe him out as quick as possible. We've then got to get through Anima. And Anima's section is very, very interesting. And then we go back to Seymour again, where he does double casts of magic, essentially. So, yeah, he's done lightning. He's going to be doing water next, isn't he? So, don't know if we've got an armour that... Oh, we do. Okay. That's handy. So, with 2 bits of armour, Kimari gets the wards, which is handy. Now, when we fight Anima, we have got to do it quickly, because if it gets its overdrive, we're knackered. Which means Riku has to just spam Poison Fangs at it. If she dies, it's a major problem, because we've got to waste a turn on reviving her, and then she won't be hasted anymore. So she's got to waste a turn hasting herself again, which potentially is going to cause problems, because Anima alternates between attacking you and boosting their overdrive bar, and their overdrive bar still goes up when they attack you, so their overdrive bar is constantly going up. And normally the way to kind of protect yourselves against that is to obviously just waste a summon, but we don't have that option. So yeah, speed is of the essence there. We have to make sure. We have managed to slow Seymour as well, which is handy.
Feel my pain. Come, Anima.
Right, yeah, now it is time for Anima. So, as I say, speed will be of the essence here. Riku has to get as many turns as we can get, and basically spam Poison Fang continuously, because I think they do about 3,500 to 4,000. So we're gonna need 4 or 5, I think, if my maths is right. Yeah, oh, 18,000, yeah. Obviously, oh wow. Tidus's attack doing, unless that was a crit. Oh, it's only 3,000, that's a problem. I mean, Kimari might as well attack as well. We might as well chip away whatever damage we can. Thankfully, with the boost, we basically know that everyone's fine. But yeah, pain is obviously instant death. I mean, the damage that it does is an instant death anyway. Or what it would do. And Riku's immediately dead. Thankfully, we have got the speed up on Tidus as well. So that will help slightly. But now Riku doesn't have haste. Oh, another 900 there. Very, very handy that Tidus is doing as much damage as he is in this fight. Just chipping away and chipping away and chipping away. No, we don't want another haste. Definitely need another Poison Fang. And who's this going to kill? This is going to hopefully not kill Riku. Excellent. Kimari's dead. We don't really care. He's doing the least amount of damage. He's not hasted. So, yeah, we can bring him back. It's not the end of the world. We don't necessarily... Well, I say we don't necessarily need him back. We could do with a third person for when Seymour enters the fight again. So, God, that only did 2,000. God, I really overestimated how powerful the Poison Fangs were. This Poison Fang, is this a boost? I'm hoping this is a boost. It is. Okay, that means Anima's dead then. Because it's got, what, less than 2,000 health, I think? Pretty sure it's got less than 2,000 health. And Riku's got two goes. Yeah, it's dead. 1,300. So Anima is dead, but got very, very close to the overdrive bar filling up there. Which, as I say, basically is game over. Oblivion will just... It doesn't matter what you can have people fully healed. You can have all the defences on them. Annoyingly, Seymour always goes back up to 6,000 health there. But if we can poison him immediately, lovely. That's what we love to see. Do a bit of extra damage. Bit more with Oren as well. Nice. he's not particularly... Yeah, he's only got 1300, so he's not particularly strong. I mean, Tidus doing this much damage is amazing. Obviously, having Oren out guarantees that he... I think he's dead, yeah, 81. Having Oren out basically guarantees that Seymour can't completely wipe you out with the double magic, because Oren can survive 2 hits of it. So if he gets hit twice, you've got 2 characters left standing, and if he gets hit and somebody else dies, then you've still got 2 characters, which is ideal, really. Obviously, if it's other characters, he could have killed Tidus and Riku, leaving only Oren, which then becomes problematic, and you get kind of into a bit of a death cycle. But yes. Let me tell you this. I guarantee you that there will be a Silent Strike weapon for Kimahri at the end of this, because this was, I think, the 13th time that I'd fought him. And I'd whittled the fight down. That was one of the quicker ones as well, that fight. Because we didn't have kind of any reviving after Anima died. We got rid of Anima relatively quickly. We only had Riku die once during the Anima fight. We did a bit more prep at the beginning there than I had done on other ones, but it meant that the end of the fight went a lot smoother. We did get a bit lucky in that with some of Tidus's extra hits. He was doing sort of 900 on a more regular basis, which was unusual, I must say. But yeah, there we go. The Mage Hunter, Silent Strike for Kimahri. So, not an Oren, but we'll take it. Especially after 13 attempts at him, we will definitely take it. I am happy that we got the damn thing, but it makes you realise how easy the fight against him is. I mean, if I'd have had all the other things available to me, I sort of remember the first few times of playing through Final Fantasy X, sometimes struggling a bit more with Seymour than really you should do. Granted, I probably didn't have any Poison Fangs for Riku, doing a lot of damage, but obviously you've got 4 Aeons against him, you've got Overdrives, like, he shouldn't be that difficult. Granted, if you don't petrify the Guado at the beginning, he gets buffed with, I think it's Shell and Protect, which is a pain. But, yeah, there is a nice easy way of beating Seymour. Even just on a normal run, you should then be able to do him in sort of 5, 6, 7 minutes, something like that. Unfortunately, this now brings us to the worst Cloister of Trials in the entire game. I know some people will say that the one in Zanakind is worse, or potentially Bevel. I disagree. The Bevel one is quite short. Granted, you're on the railroad and you might go round the loop a few times, but I find it generally relatively quick. This one is such a pain, especially if you want the Destruction Sphere, because you have to do it twice. And yeah, there we go. There's, annoyingly with this, because I didn't do this with a guide to easily, and I probably should have done, but there are certain things you have to do in certain order, and if you don't, then the whole thing goes kaflooey. Yeah, put the Glysphere in. But yeah, to push this thing into there, to down to there, it's just such a faff. And then, yeah, as I say, to get the Destruction Sphere, you then have to basically break the bridge, change the sphere over to a Destruction Sphere, and go through the whole thing again. So you end up doing the whole cloister twice. And it's not a very nice cloister to do anyway. So yeah, thanks game for making us have to do it twice. Now I needed that sphere. I should have taken that sphere because I'm pretty sure this glyph sphere does absolutely nothing. It might do something here. I don't know if it does. Don't think it does. No. No. You need to go. I mean, I needed to get it out of the way. Because I need to push the pedestal to the right. But yeah, it's just it's such a faff. We push you to the right. Now the problem with this is I should have used that to raise that one up. Yes. Yes, dear viewer. Because I'm pretty sure the glyph sphere does nothing here. It might do. Oh no, it does. Oh, that's fortunate. Good. Good. No, it's happy days. And then we can take that down to the very bottom. And then use the one for the ramp in the middle one. So this bit isn't too bad. There was a bit of a weird thing with the kind of ice thing on the side there. No, not in there. No, it's not in there. Don't put it in there. Thank you. This is half the issue as well. I have such bad kind of memories and whatnot with this cloister that I sort of purge it from my brain after I've cleared it. So I have very poor recollection as to how to do it properly. And then this one goes in the middle one up here, and we have a complete bridge. Now, if only it was that. That's not too bad. It's a bit of a pain in the backside, going backwards and forwards and whatnot, because I couldn't exactly remember. But generally, not too terrible. It was okay. Yeah, because that breaks the bridge automatically, because that comes from down there. And then this turns into a destruction sphere. And it's this element that I forget, because now it's a destruction sphere. I can't actually get the thing, because it's floating up in the air. Break the bridge again. Such a faff. This is it, because you've only got the one Macalania sphere, you then push that to there, and then you take it out, and then you've got the ramp thing. It's just so much double handling of stuff. To then open the chest, to then change the sphere back from a destruction sphere back into a Macalania sphere, and then remake the bridge again. It's like, who designed this? I would love the chance to meet the person who designed this cloister and just kind of scream in their face. Why? What the hell were you thinking? What part of your brain thought that this would be fun? Like, the Jose one is a bit fiddly, but it's kind of more intuitive, and there's so many of the spheres, it doesn't really matter what you put where. And you can kind of do a lot of them in any order. But this is very specific, and if you miss one bit of any of it, the whole thing just goes wonky, and you essentially have to kind of start bits all over again. All that for a Lux sphere that I can't even use, I would like to add as well. Because now I can't remember how I undo everything, which is why this is a bit more fiddly. Yeah, it's no good taking that out. I mean, you can, but it's kind of pointless. Oh, it's such stupid game design, making something so unfun. Especially when you consider, like, this is meant to be like a big escape mission for you. Like, you've just killed Seymour. You've just killed Seymour, and you're now pissing about with this. It's insane. We're meant to be like, oh, quick, let's get out of here. Hang on, let me just rebuild this bridge 58 different ways, so that we can eventually get out of here. Yeah, that ain't gonna do it. That ain't gonna solve it. Haha, there we go. I've just seen on that screen, because I think I thought that the last one was still built, and I thought, well, if I put that in, then I can walk out. Yeah, I think I've just realised my mistake there. Come on, come on. The only sphere you've got left. No, not that one. No, stop taking that one. Granted, this makes it a bit more painful because of my idiocy, and I definitely should have had a guide. And I'm pretty sure the next time I do this, like, will guarantee that I will have a guide right by me saying, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. But it's just so unintuitive. The game doesn't... Although the game has changed the thing for you, because when you leave the first time, you get the glyph to move the pedestal, and usually when you see those, you go, oh, okay, yeah, better do that then, and then that kind of gives you, it puts it in the doorway, so you then kind of push it intuitively down the slide and it moves it over. So that in of itself is relatively intuitive. But you don't get that same kind of intuitive element leaving. I don't think, anyway. I mean, going through all this relatively recently and then seeing it again and obviously verbalising all this pain to you, and kind of feeling the pain that you're probably feeling now watching all this crap. Me being such an idiot trying to do this secondhand. Yeah, I wonder if because of that I will never ever forget this trial ever again. The fact that it's taken this long and I've finally got the destruction sphere. I think basically through trial and error and going, well, the glyph sphere doesn't do me anything, all these other things aren't getting me anywhere, maybe I need the destruction sphere, and there we go, and then that pushes it there. So yeah, I think even now I'm like, is this gonna work? I guess this might work. Because it's the only time you do anything with the destruction sphere after opening the chest. All the others, you open the chest and then you're done. You use the destruction sphere to expose the chest, and then you go, okay, cool, that's that done then. Even in Bevel and Zanarkand, you do not do stuff with it after the fact. This is the only time you have to then interact with the destruction sphere afterwards in order to then kind of carry on with the game. All the others, you just do the thing, you open the chest, and then you carry on with the rest of the trial as normal, and there's no problem. There we go. So there's one. Then we need the one up the top there on the right hand side for the bottom left hand side. And then the one at the top of the ramp will do the middle. We've worked, finally we've got there. Finally. I think I spent more time on this trial than I did fighting Seymour. I think I actually did. Just sort of looking at the timer for the edit, and I'm pretty sure I did. Which is absolutely insane. Thankfully after this we've got actual gameplay again. Obviously we've got the chase, and then we've got another boss fight, which will be fun. The Wendigo. So we just had to have this lovely little lull in the middle here for reasons. But yay, we're finally free. We've done it. Woohoo! Don't stand on the thing. We can finally escape. Oh, thank God for that. Bloody thing.
Please.
I don't know how the others all got there. They were all there waiting for me, and I was the only one in the trial. Like, how did they get across? It makes no sense. Excellent. So you've just destroyed Jiskel's sphere. You've just denied everyone the truth. Thanks for that. Got anything good, Owaka? Probably not. Cool, that's expensive. Why is everything so expensive, buddy? Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good. Let's just... no, let's not worry about it. Let's carry on. Definitely saving, because we don't want to be doing the trial again. God, no. Thankfully, we didn't have to do the trial 13 odd times. But actually, doing the fight with Seymour again and again and again and again was actually less painful than doing the trial. Even though it took longer, it was more fun doing the same boss fight that only lasted about 10-15 minutes each time. It was more fun doing that on repeat for, what would that have been? 100? Yeah, maybe close to 2 hours of just doing the same boss fight was more fun than the 10 or 15 minutes it took me to get through the cloister. That's how awful it was. That's how much I hate it. But thankfully, we can just petrify grenade our way. Petrify grenade our way through here until the boss fight. Obviously we've got first strike now with Tidus, so we can just keep swapping him back in for Riku. Riku will get the first turn regardless of anything. I mean, we won't get ambushed anyway because of the sentry weapon, so that solves that issue. But yeah, Riku can keep coming in, petrify grenading until we get to the Wendigo fight. And we've still got quite a lot of petrify grenades, like 70 odd. Yes, we've got to get through Beacon Elm home, and then we've got to get through Bavel. But then once we get to the Calmlands, we are easily able to get a lot more. So it's highly unlikely that we will kind of get to a point where we're kind of desperate for petrify grenades. So we might as well spam a few here, because there's not going to be that many fights here. And then obviously the Via Purifico, we don't have Riku anyway, so we can't use them there. The beginning of Beaconell, we don't have access to Riku either, until we find her, and we find her last, which is a pain. Just as you've kind of got used to using all of her items all the time, she's then not there, and you also don't have Yuna, so you don't have like natural healing either. So cool, thanks game. But yes, we are now going to go into the Wendigo fight, and on paper seems like it could be a problem. Hits hard, is relatively quick, Obviously we are limited as to what we can kind of do to really hurt him, because he has very, very high defences, and our magic isn't particularly strong. But there's quite a nice easy cheese to get through this fight, which once it starts, we will kind of explain. But yeah, just sort of prepping ourselves now. I think towards the end of the fight as well, if I get time, I believe that we do a bit of... Although actually there is time under the lake to kind of prep everyone's equipment for Beacon Out, especially Lulu and Oren, who join the fight that Tidus is in at the beginning, just to make things a bit easier. Yeah, we might as well have the sensor, because we know Death Touch isn't going to work. Right, I think we all good, guys? Let's go fight a Wendigo. As I say, there is quite a nice cheese with this, because he is nicely susceptible to status ailments, which is kind of our saving grace, basically, with this fight. Are we going to petrify grenade them? Oh, they instantly berserk him anyway, which is fun. Oh, 2,000, jeez. Which is a problem, because Tidus... did I get ambushed there then? Or did they just outspeed me? Which is a bit of a pain. Obviously we want a hasted Riku. Everyone wants a hasted Riku. We're not going to haste Riku? Yeah, let's haste Riku. Good idea. Revive Tidus? Yeah, cool. Lovely. Now obviously with his berserk, his strength is even higher. He is just gonna smash us to hell. So... Haha. Auto potion, always fun. However, now he's asleep. Ooh, that was lucky. That was less lucky. Thank God she had the equipment on that she had. But now if we petrify grenade them, they should now die. So we haven't got to worry about the auto potion. And now he's asleep. As long as we don't hit him, we should be fine. So all we really have to do is pay attention to his status of sleep. And when that wears off, hit him with another sleep grenade. He annoyingly isn't susceptible to poison, fine, so we've got to do more damage to him. But he should be susceptible to a smoke bomb. So if he does wake up and gets an attack in on us, potentially he will miss. But we leave him asleep and blinded. And we just kind of hit him with whatever items we've got. 300 is not enough, really. It would be nice if Oren could attack, but again, we don't want him awake, so that would be a stupid idea. But we have other items that hurt. I'm pretty sure after a little while we revert to sort of the first and second level magic spell items. Just because grenades are not doing a lot. Obviously Poison Fang's going to do a decent amount of damage, but we kind of want to keep hold of them. Yeah, because he's still got like 13,000, well nearly 14,000 health, so we need to do a lot more to him. We need to make sure that he's hurting. I kind of regret using these because they're more valuable than wasting them on him. And 14, I can't get any more until the calm lands. So yeah, it's a bit of a problem. Shouldn't really be using Poison Fangs. And yeah, there he's still got half of his health. Yeah, don't keep. Let's see what some of these items do. That's it. Yeah, see, that still does 1,000. That's not too terrible. Dragon scale. We got quite a few dragon scales. We don't really need them for anything else. I would say we get on that. We get on the dragon scales. They're so much better using them up than wasting Poison Fangs. Because there's not really a lot else we're going to use dragon scales on. Certainly not at this part of the game. There's just no need. Obviously he's woken up, but Riku's got two goes at him. So we can put him back to sleep again. Obviously that'll do a bit of damage, but now he's asleep. I would imagine he would stay asleep for the whole rest of the fight now, really. Now that we've kind of found our rhythm and worked out an item that does decent damage without wasting really important items. Obviously we're not going to hit him with the other two characters anyway, so he's not going to wake up. Yeah, then he's just under 5,000, so yeah, another 6, maybe 7 of these, and he's done. So that's not too terrible at all, really. And what? Tidus got knocked out by him once before we got a chance to really defend against him after he'd been immediately berserked. And Riku got hit with lightning, I think, and then when Tidus was revived, he then got hit by something again. So yeah, really not anything to be too concerned about. He woke up once. He didn't have enough turns. Even with Riku not hasted, he would have still got hit by a sleeping powder. Obviously, without her being hasted, he might have woken up a couple more times, potentially, because his turns would have come round a lot quicker. But hey, that's what Chocobo feathers are for. And now we do have a bit of time to reorganise ourselves, to sort out our equipment as well before Beacon Owl, because yeah, Beacon Owl is going to be tricky. We've obviously got to get through the first few fights collecting all the characters before we get to Riku, so we've got to get through those without items, which is a pain. The first I can't remember. What's the big bird with the dark wings? Is it a zoo? I don't think it's a Garuda. But basically, the forced fight at the beginning starts off with Tidus and then Lulu and Auron join, and then that's it for that fight. So we've got to make sure that we can inflict certain status ailments on it via items. So that's going to be fun. Specifically poison. We want to make sure that we can poison it with poison weapons, which I think both Tidus and Auron have got. I don't think it's susceptible to death or stone either. So Lulu can't really hit it herself, which is a pain. But then once we've got everyone back and we're then looking for home, we will need to do a bit more item collection. We need some shadow gems from the big like landworm things. We could do with stocking up on some smoke bombs. And I think we can get sleeping powders from the walls here as well. And I think they might be a common drop. But we certainly could do with a few of those. We could also do with getting a fairly decent stock of Albed potions, because they will fully heal basically everyone apart from sometimes Orin, but most of the time still Orin, and will also get rid of poison, darkness, and petrify. I think are the three elements it gets rid of. So yeah, we could do with getting a few of those. So in the next video there will be kind of an item collection segment. I think what I'm probably going to do is do the whole of Beacon and Home in one video, and then have all that item farming bit in the middle just at super speed again. So you'll get the fights and the character collection bit at the start as normal, and then once we've gone item farming, we'll kind of have the end bit at home and fighting all the Guado and all that at normal speed as well. We'll see. I might split it into 2 videos, but either if I do that, I'll essentially either have to cut out all of the item farming and just have that as a kind of extra video on its own, which no one's really going to want to watch anyway. It's kind of pointless. And then we kind of have the 2 other segments separate. Or we have a very kind of short video at the beginning, or a long video. Or, yeah, I think the easiest way is just doing it all in one and super speeding the middle section, to be honest. The Avenger, what does that give us? Counter-attack. Could be useful. I mean, when Waka later on gets evade encounter, that will be much more useful. I must say, much more useful.
What? Yeesh.
Your singing reminded me of Spira.
But yeah, that sort of draws this sort of to a conclusion. I mean, we've got a bit more bits and pieces here, lore-wise. Sin listening, all that gubbins, to spit us out at Beacon. But yeah, that's sort of the plan for the next video. Is we'll do all of it all in one go. I think I've kind of talked myself into it, because I don't really know how I would split it either.
Which means
because it would just be all the kind of bits at the beginning, and then a load of item farming for some of the video, and then another load of item farming at the beginning of the next video with the bit in home. And I've super sped up the item farming bits before already. Obviously the video a couple of videos ago where we went back to the Thunder Plains and Macalania Woods and whatnot and did a bit more item farming. We kind of did that after the couple of the bosses. So I think generally I'm just gonna do that when I have to do item farms in the future. If I'm doing a bit in the middle of something else, I will essentially leave it in and just speed it up. Obviously, much later on, especially once we've got the monster arena open, there will be probably whole episodes where it is just item farming again, either as drops or as steals. But again, it's a necessary thing for this kind of run. Certainly the SOS haste kind of drop will need to be a farming video. And obviously we're going to need a lot more petrify grenades, we're going to need a lot more silence grenades, and dream powders when we get to them, poison fangs, all that good stuff. We're going to need a lot more of them, so there's going to be a fair few item farms. We're going to need to kind of make sure that we've got enough to then get through the Calm Lands. We're probably then going to go back after we've done a lot bits of Mount Gagazet to do another bit of an item top up before we then go into Zanakind, because then the only way to get back to it will be to get past Unalesca to get the airship. So that run up to her, we'll kind of have to make sure that we've definitely got everything that we need. So yeah, there will be a few, and I think based on kind of what I've decided for this next one, is what I will do for future ones, is we'll just do kind of item farming in the middle of stuff and speed it up. But, well, we made it to Beacon, get the remedies. Thank you very much for watching. As I say, that was 13th time, I think, lucky against Seymour, but we got there in the end. We got the weapon we need. We can proceed in Bavel, which is really important. So thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you again next time. Goodbye.